What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to PlayStation Generation episode 28. My name is Matt, and I'll be your host for today's events. I'm joined, as always, by the PlayStation Hokage himself, Mr. Rice.
Hokage!
What's up,
Nimpo!
The Master Roshi to my Yajirobe.
Hello, Matt. Hello.
What's up,
It's
dude?
good to be here.
you doing?
Yeah.
How's your Thanksgiving? You got up to some stuff, you know?
Yeah, ate lots of food.
Mhm.
Played a bit of games too, which was nice. Fit some gaming time in there. You know, eating while gaming, and then
Yeah, it's a good one.
You know, just like even got the controller a little bit dusty with some Cheeto dust, but we cleaned it
That's
after.
old school.
Old
That's
school. I went full gamer diet. It was fun.
Yeah.
For maybe like
Hell
an
yeah,
hour.
my dude.
And then it was like water.
I-
Just water.
Just water. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed, my dude. And of course, joining us is the love guru himself, Mr. Deniru Kun. What's up,
Yeah.
we used this
Oh,
last week, and I think I'm just going to run with it.
Oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say we did change it. Okay, that makes sense. Hi. How's it going?
How you doing, my dude? How's your Thanksgiving?
Good. Food, family, friends, fun. Can't wait to do it. Can't wait till I have to do it again next year.
I was waiting for another
the-
F word.
I know, me too. Me too. I was literally counting the F
that-
words. It's the big three Fs I was about to call them. Just missing one more F.
One more.
Functional cooking habits.
There you go.
Factual information.
Yes.
Fuck. I
bellies?
can't think of
mean,
anything
oh,
else.
Okay.
Denny, I have to ask. Like, I want to kick things off here, because we're going to talk about what we've been playing as we always do. Because on this week's show, we're going to be talking about Metaphor. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of news that dropped today from the Xbox Partner Showcase in relation to the PS5. We're going to be talking about Concord and perhaps even more. But stay strapped to all that. But I want to kick things off with Denny this week because last week we talked about Denny's ironclad will. His ability to really make sound financial decisions and not go over the top. Not at all going in to buy one game and coming back in and then come back for another one. But I need to know, Denny. Last week we were left on the edge of our seats with the possibility of you picking up 3 games. Did you buy any? And if so, what did you buy? And what have you been playing?
Okay. So I'm proud of myself. I walked away with only one.
Only
Okay.
one. Okay.
Only one.
But what I'm not proud of was that I woke up and the first thing I did is I went to the store to buy it.
Hell yeah.
I went out of my way and was like, I need to get Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yeah, you
And I
did.
did it. I went to the Walmart. They didn't have it. So apparently Walmart doesn't sell that shit.
Oh,
Bro, apparently I saw Kofi, a friend of the show, tweet out that like there were GameStop straight like selling out of physical copies.
Yep.
Like they had
Yeah,
like
crazy.
things on their doors being like it's gone. So it's a good thing you went before your day started.
right.
And I thought I was being smart by going to Walmart at like 9 in the morning. Because, who goes to Walmart for a video game at 9 in the morning? Normally you run out of juice, out of milk, your baby needs diapers. Oh, let me pick up Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. No. But then I looked up and the lady's like, oh, you should try Best Buy. And I looked at her like, you have a GameStop like 4 doors over. Why wouldn't I go there? And I thought to myself, like, wait, we do have a Best Buy close by. And they only had 5 copies left when I got there. Or they only got 5 copies. I don't know.
God damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got it. I need to hear how has your time with the game been thus far?
It's been awesome. It's been really fun. I say that a lot, I feel. It is definitely harder than I remember the other Bluesky games being. Great 8 did not give me as much trouble as I was anticipating. I think I beat him on the 5th try.
Nice.
Hey.
Nice.
All right.
But then also my little brother wanted to play, so I watched him struggle for like 2.5 hours, and it was great. I just laughed.
Yes.
I'm a horrible older brother, but no, it's been lots of fun enjoying
that's
it.
the rite of
playing it
passage.
online.
It's
Exactly.
the best kind of older brother, man.
Just going through the stories, trying to unlock as much as I can, and just having a grand old time with it.
Hell
I was
yeah,
actually
dude.
really sad the day you messaged me. You're like, you want to throw it? I'm like, yes, I do. But I gotta work.
Yeah, I did. I saw that you hit me up on the weekend as well. I was at home and my brother was on. I was with the baby, so I didn't see your message until much later. And he's like, I think somebody messaged you. I'm like, boy, didn't you tell me that, young one? because similarly, like I brought the PS5 home for Thanksgiving. I went back to my parents for a few days, and my younger brother was in from out of town. And again, we grew up like throwing down like your
Oh,
Naruto
yeah.
Ninja Storms, your Budokais, your Budokai Tenkaichis. So I was like, okay, kid, you have like I'm busy for the next little while. I gotta help mom in the kitchen. I gotta be with the baby. I'm like, you sit your ass down and you lock it. You hit the lab, okay? I'm not gonna put up with any of your excuses and shit when it comes time later tonight to throw down. And you better believe he sat and locked in for the next couple hours. I watched him left, right, and center all of the first night. Nights 2 and 3 though was some battling. We went back and forth. Him with Trunks, me with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Like back in the day. The game is it's just a lot of fun. It's just so much fun. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I have to ask, did you continue on with God of War and Ghosts of Tsushima at all?
Oh yeah, I'm multitasking like crazy right now.
Oh hell yeah. Tell me more.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
I ran some God of War while waiting for turkey to cook. And then after everybody settled to bed and it was late at night, I hopped into some Ghost of Tsushima and just kind of kept plugging through that. And then,
dude, that feels like it would have good nighttime vibes. You know, some games are just good for nighttime. You know what I mean?
The environment and the music and the sound is just very calming for the type of game that it is. It is a very calming game, and I think that's why I like playing it more at night. Because if I try to play during the day, I'm just kind of like, no, let me try later, and then I come back at night, and it's just it is literally like a zen type of moment.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I'm happy that you were at least financially responsible enough to only pick up one. I look forward to talking to you next week once Metaphor is in hand, because I believe, Danny, I believe that you're on your way. I believe.
Let's see. We'll see.
Rest, my dude. What about you? What you been playing? Did you grab anything? Did Becca cave? Did you go to her and say, babe, listen, I have a speech to play for you. You smack play on PlayStation Generation on Spotify, and you said, listen to this. She listens. She looks at you and says,
yup.
You need there's nothing more to say. You go.
Yes, and she blessed me with 10 games. No,
100%.
I wish.
4 copies of Budokai.
Oh man, I you know what? I have been gaming this week. I have been having lots of fun. I actually was gifted a copy of Sparking Zero, so I will be playing that. I haven't actually quite gotten into it yet. You weren't lying about Raditz.
I'm telling you, bro.
But like I'm kind of just like waiting to finish Wukong. And once that's like fully done, then I can give Dragon Ball Sparking Zero a good go, you know. So I want when I start playing it, I probably won't stop for a while. So I don't want to have that interrupted by another game that I'm playing right now.
Yeah, it's been like sitting in the back of my mind at like all times where I'm like, I just want to go. I want to keep running the stories. I want to go online. I just like I don't think I realized until this weekend, actually, like sitting in the same room as my brother, you know, controllers in hands, talking shit, you know, while we're fighting.
I love that.
Like how few and far between those experiences are nowadays.
Sure.
I feel like in our adult lives, at least for myself, like I don't have a lot of close friends that are very into gaming that live physically close. Like we'll hop online once in a while, but like to have that in person, you know, sharing a couch experience.
Yes,
there's nothing really like it. And I think Sparking Zero really made, like, you know, brought that back in me. And it was a nice little glimpse of like a window through time, you know, back to my younger days.
A spark, if you will.
On the daily. A spark. Back when I was at least 0 years old, you know?
Bars.
Bars. But yeah, I wanted to know what you guys thought about the difficulty, because this has been a ranging point of discussion. For me, as I told you guys, I got clapped hard, went to the lab, practiced, zoned in, and then I came back in, and I've been making steady progress across multiple campaigns. Steve over on our sister podcast in Creature Cast talked a lot about how like great Vegeta was like clapped him for like 3 days straight, and when on the verge of him like giving up the game, was like he finally took him down, and then the rest of the difficulty was more manageable after that. So like Denny, I know you're a little bit deeper in than Rice is right here. How are you finding the difficulty? Because for me, it's a throwback to the ridiculous AI of our youth, but I
Yeah.
understand why that might not be for everyone.
So the only other fighting game that I feel like I've ever gotten this kind of PTSD from was like Mortal Kombat 2. And if anyone knows about Mortal Kombat 2, how they basically like would read your inputs and then block or like counter right away. That's what it kind of felt like. But no, same thing. You know, I would definitely get my ass handed to me here or there, and then I would stop. I'm like, okay, let's go back to the training. Let's get a little bit better. Let's see if there's a move or something that I don't know about, or maybe that I forgot how to do that'll help me. And it's been kind of like that. So like, it's almost like I compare it to like the level grinding curve in like RPGs where like you're good. Then a boss comes, so you've got to grind a little bit, but the grind isn't like experience. It's just like you getting more familiar with like the technicalities of the game. And then you're okay. And then Beerus comes and like smacks you down like crazy. Then you're fine. Then all of a sudden it's Goku Black and Zamasu at the same time. And you're just like, what the hell, bro? That's
I think
right now. But
I think that's so apt because I think comparing it to like the JRPG grind or any RPG grind is kind of entirely intact because in those games you're quite literally making the character better so the character stands a better chance. Sparking Zero is like, nah, bro, you need to get better. You need to lock in because if you don't, you're screwed. Get good. Like if you don't spend the time, it is not going to reward you for that. And it's not like it's not like it's just a Dark Souls type where the AI is clever. You know what I mean? Or like just certain patterns you have to learn. It's like if you don't figure out how to do the revenge counters, the super counters, if you don't figure out the vanishing timing, like good luck. Otherwise, you're just running away and spamming supers the entire time, which is also totally fine. You do what you need to do to get through the level. But like, I think the only thing that kind of has left for me, and we kind of realized this, I think, all together earlier this week, is that there's no crossplay.
Yeah.
Such a bummer, bro. Like,
right?
Like I was gifted the game and I was immediately like, well, can I play with Matt? And then I was like, no.
I feel like it's so interesting because I feel like we never used to expect it. You know what I mean? Growing up, crossplay was like not a thing. You own it on Xbox, you play with Xbox, and nowadays it just feels like, of course, it has crossplay.
Well,
you might only play with console. It might not cross with PC, but there's sometimes there's asterisks along the way. But you kind of come to expect it now. So that coming up against the game, that multiplayer is such a visceral part of it.
Yes.
For it to not have it, I was like, excuse me?
Yeah,
what year is it?
And like it's so interesting because people buy different platforms for different reasons. There's a huge scope of reasons why, and some people only have just the one platform to play on, and it once crossplay became a thing. I think the general thought that everyone has is like, oh, I wish every game had this so that I could play this game with my friend, but my friend has an Xbox or my friend has a PlayStation. And I suppose, I don't know if I want to call it spoiled, but we have had a taste and we just want that for everything, you know? And that's fair.
Oh yeah.
I gotta ask, Rice, because like you said, you haven't journeyed too far into it.
Yeah.
It's on the docker for you. You're coming off of an already difficult game in Wukong. How are you mentally prepping yourself for the difficulty or the limited amount that you have played? What's your experience with it so far? Because I feel like not everybody was ready for this.
Sure. Here's the thing. I do have this like special love for fighting games. Like you said, like you and your bro kind of just like sat down and got to experience that. One of my like greatest kind of memories and experiences, even bringing out my competitive spirit in where I would not have done that in sports in school or anything like that. Like I wasn't very good at those things, but I could play Tekken 3 and I could throw down and I could like, I could hurt somebody. So
unrelated to the game. Then I'd win. The crowbar to the arm will make button inputs a lot more difficult.
Oh man, and just like I wasn't the type to trash talk, but when it came to some sort of fighting game, I was talking shit all the time, man, because I could back it up. So all this to say, when it came to kind of solo playing an experience in a fighting game, I welcomed the challenge because there were a ton of fighting games where unless I was fighting against a real player, the AI was just kind of waste. But
Yeah.
While I haven't had the time to fully dive into Sparking Zero, I think that I welcome that challenge. That excites me, if you will. And so, yeah, I can't wait to tell Denny that like I beat Baby in like one try.
Use
One try.
Chaozu.
Use Chaozu and using Chaozu.
Use Chaozu and just take yourself out as you take out thing. Yeah, I think Great Ape Vegeta took me 4 goes. I beat the what if, like the Sparking episode one first, and I clapped that one in 1 try. And I was like, what are people complaining about? This ain't so bad. And then I rounded over into like the mainline story, and it took me 4 goes. And I was very grateful that I got it in that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Rice saga against Great Ape Vegeta as Wukong comes to a close. Have you been playing anything else? Are you continuing on that Wukong?
Yeah. Wukong's fun, man. I do understand your plight in that there you do kind of have to traverse and get back to where you were. Like, what's the one guy, the noble something? He's in the water and uses like I got stuck on that for quite some time. But it was kind of annoying to have to go through like, I don't know, 1-2 minutes of running around to get back to that boss. So I don't know if that's a legitimate complaint or not, but I do agree with the sentiment that it does take some time and you lose momentum. But really, really enjoying the combat. I don't think that it's as hard as maybe people have said it is. I think that if you're quick, if you have some dexterity, then you won't have a problem with this game. So, but I'm enjoying my time with it. Hope to finish it soon.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm going to bring in our first news story for the last game that I've been playing because where did it go? I lost it. Hold on. Pause, please. Here we go. There we go. Now I got it back. And we're going to spin this around. Coming from the PlayStation blog. Astrobot new speedrun level and special bots out tomorrow, which is today. They were out. They dropped out, I think, like 9 a.m. 10 a.m. EST this morning. 5 new levels with 10 new special bots for rescue beginning October 17th, which is today. This is coming from Nicholas Doucette, who's the studio director at Team Asobi. I'm basically going to run through this because, yeah, we got building speed today. Let It Slide on October 24th, Spring Loaded Run on October 31st, Helium Heights on November 7th, and Rising Heat November 14th, along with 10 new bots. So today we got Eve and the Hell Diver. Basically, the way that it works is like as you're running through the level, there's 2 birds, one blue one and one red one, and you have to basically beat the birds to the end to unlock both of the bots. And I've been like dialed in today. When I'm
you have. Holy geez.
I have been dialed in today. When I'm not like when any kind of even like 2 or 3 minutes, because like I like this level is like 30 to 40 seconds. Right. If you're really running through it. I've been dialed in. Like it is so much fun. The level is awesome. And I also really love this rollout strategy. Instead of just giving it all to us at once, one a week, where it's like it continues the conversation about Astrobot every Thursday for the next 5 weeks, I think is really sweet. I'm just gonna hold on. Where's my Twitter? I'm just gonna pull this up real quick and kind of
sub 30 in sites. That was 4 hours ago.
Yeah, I was just looking at that right now.
I'm not under sub 30 yet. I'll say that much.
Right.
Because like I think the world records right now are like 27 or 28 seconds.
Oh wow.
So I'm at 31 right now. Jordan Miller over at VGC like threw down the gauntlet, and I was like, bring it on. And you can see I've narrowly edged them out.
Well done.
As of this check.
Well
Gnarly
done.
Squid. Tough C, that's Steve. Steve, get on the game here, bro. Gnarly Squid is Riley from Walmart Canada. Riley, let's go. Come on. It's time to throw down. Okay, it's time to throw down. I know the route. I know what it is, like how I have to get from A to Z. It's just now fine tuning like the performance to get there. I'm not usually one for speedrunning. I naturally play games quickly, but Astrobot just feels so good that like I'm dialed in. This has me for the next 5 weeks. as I like walk in to get these. Have either one of you had a chance to check them out yet?
Not yet, but I know that I'm going to beat Denny's time. I think me and Denny have had. Time. Yeah, I know, and I still. Oh well, you came out with that video and you beat me. Yeah. But it wasn't on screen. Yeah, you beat me like away, like when you practiced and slept and had all the water. Yes. But I'm gonna beat you right in your face.
All right, bring it. Yeah. I'm ready.
Okay,
all right, well, we haven't dived in, but we will.
No.
we'll park this for now, and we'll revisit this next week. Yes. And I'm excited to see which one of you comes out on top, and if either one of you is actually going to be a challenge anyway. So,
I'm gonna get sub 30. Watch.
Bring it. I would. You know what? I would be so happy for you. I'd be so excited that you did it, and I would not at all be just a little bit jealous, but I'd be stoked for you if you did it. Okay.
Hey, I received that. I received that.
Yeah, you should. Aggressively kind.
I will.
Yeah, good.
I want to kiss you right now.
Yeah, right on the mouth. Aggressively for at least 6 seconds.
Sloppy.
Anybody in the comments, let us know if you're in on this Astrobot. Join the Discord. We're gonna be talking about it and stuff. I want to see your times. It's a lot of fun. It's just real good. Let's kind of stay in this realm for a bit, guys, because we're gonna do a bit of a sales run here, and we're gonna stay with Astrobot before we loop back around to Dragon Ball. Because coming from VGC, coming from Andy Robinson, Astrobot has outperformed "quote unquote" virtually every non-Mario platformer in a decade in Europe. PlayStation Astrobot has had a better launch than virtually any non-Super Mario game. It's according to GI.biz journalist Christopher Dring, who has a knowledge of PS5's exclusive sales performance in the region, including both physical and digital, higher than 34% higher than Sega's recent Sonic Frontiers, 52% bigger than Activision's Crash 4. It is crushing it. Like Astrobot.
Yeah.
Coming into Astrobot, I was like, this game is going to be fantastic, but I hope it's not going to be slept on.
Yeah.
Guys, Astro's on fire.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And rightfully so. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that it got the traction that it deserved, because these developers, this game, honestly, the PlayStation mascot, like it is the friggin' epitome of the PlayStation ecosystem in terms of a platformer. So yeah, not even just in terms of a platformer, but innovation. Like for real. Like it's so good. I can't say enough good things.
I really can't either. Let's just quickly knock these 3 stories out because they're all about sales. Metaphor coming from us over at Console Creatures. This one was by Bobby himself. Atlas has had a massive hit with Metaphor Refantasio, hitting a new IP sold 1 million copies in just 1 day.
Jeez.
They broke 1 mil in 1 day. An
That's
Atlas
crazy.
RPG. Staying on this train, Silent Hill 2 sales coming from VGC from Andy Robinson have cleared also 1 million sales. Blue Big Theory and Konami Silent Hill 2 Remake has sold over 1 million copies already. And then last but certainly not least, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, coming once again from Bobby, has sold 3 million copies in 1 day.
Yes.
All 3 games hitting within a couple days of each other. Dragon Ball and Metaphor on the same day. Dragon Ball clearing 3 million sales in 1 day.
Wild.
For an anime arena fighter, quite literally unheard of. All 3 of these games obviously have found their audience. Metaphor is incredible. Silent Hill seems to be great for the people for a lot of people. People really seem to be vibing with it. Dragon Ball is great. Did you guys think that all 3 would hit this hard? Because I expected at least one to stumble.
Sure. Man, if I may, Denny, Silent Hill, I was not expecting to get this much attention. And I was on Twitch the other day just watching some streamer friends, and all of them were playing Silent Hill. Like a lot of streamers right now playing Silent Hill. And honestly, I'm happy for them. They're enjoying a game that they really, really loved, and they're praising it, and they're really enjoying their experience. So honestly, I'm happy for my friends, and I'm happy for everyone that's enjoying the game. Friggin' Dragon Ball, I'm just happy because more people still playing Dragon Ball. That's friggin' sick, bro. Like that's so
Dude.
awesome that people are still hopping in these games, man.
And I just hope that that shows Bandai Namco that we're here. You know what I mean? It's been like 15 years since the last one, and I'm sure part of that was the long delay in between and a lot of the talk about the game leading into it and the difficulty. I think really brought a lot of people in. Damn. Denny, any thoughts or feelings? You
I'm
contributed
actually
to the sales.
Yes, I
did it.
have. So you're welcome. I honestly also thought Silent Hill 2 would probably not do so well, but I'm glad that it is. It is a faithful remake to the original game, and that game was a classic. Fun fact, I don't know if you guys know this because I heard about this earlier and it blew my mind and made me really excited. Dragon Ball apparently has outsold, or their pre-orders outsold Black Ops 6.
Oh,
I saw that. Insane.
So yeah,
let's go.
That's awesome. And
I'm here to see it.
Right? And I think oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Metaphor, this is the fastest selling game in Atlas history now.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So, and a new IP.
Brand new IP as well.
Saying that it's Persona, esque, but still, it's not Persona 6.
But no, and new IPs are harder to usually get into because like it's people are faithful to the franchise, and if you say it's like Persona, it's not, but it's not Persona. So no, it's great. And honestly, I'm happy because these are the kind of games that I love playing. These are the kind of games that I grew up playing. And it's like kind of a resurgence or a renaissance of my childhood here.
That beautifully said. Snaps all around. Snaps all around. That hit me straight in the heart, dude. But I am hoping that this is a giant neon billboard for Konami to be like, people give a shit about your IP.
Yep.
And people want more than shovelware garbage that you're going to put out to just try and catch the whales. Not this multiplayer crap that they put no effort into. Not the pachinko. Not the friggin', nothing like that. Give us quality console experiences.
Yes.
And people show up.
They do.
So I'm hoping that the same level of care and attention is being brought to the Metal Gear 3 remake. Because I love that game. It's near and dear to my heart. And I'm hoping that this means that we get more from Konami. Like, give us more Metal Gear. Give us, I don't know if more Silent Hill is a thing because I know people have mixed feelings about a lot of the other ones.
Sure.
But like, they have IP that they need to bring out. So
we out here.
We out here. Let's mosey on down the street. We're gonna turn the corner, loop back around, and mosey on over to good old Riceville because mobile game Destiny Rising has been announced by NetEase and Bungie. This is coming from Tom Ivan from VGC. The first close alpha test launches in November. We got the mobile game finally announced. Destiny Rising, free to play sci-fi RPG shooter coming to the iOS and Android devices. Alpha test starting November 1st in US and Canada. You can pre-register online. I'm gonna run the trailer and I'm just gonna toss this over to Rice because I want to know where your head's at, my friend.
Yeah, so I've been waiting for this news. I'm still playing Destiny. I haven't dove into the seasonal content just because I'm playing with other stuff right now. But my sister and I are probably going to run the seasonal content very, very soon. And we got together and actually watched this trailer, and it looks like a lot of the same stuff at first glance. And so we're like, okay, well, they're still trying to provide some form of familiarity for players who have come from the original game, and they're trying to get people on board with kind of the story and the narrative, or at least some kind of non-linear stuff on the mobile game. While I am impressed with how this looks with this early pre-alpha mobile in-game capture, as it says, it is just stuff that I've already seen. Some of it looks cool, and to a Destiny player that's played this game for so long, you could be like, oh, this is something new. I don't know I don't know if this is a hot take, but I don't know if this is enough to really draw new players in, other than the fact that this is not going to be a character that you create, but rather characters that are made for you and following the stories that are given to you. So I'm still on the fence, to be honest with you. I really am still on the fence, but I'm intrigued. I'll definitely be playing this just to report on it, and I certainly hope that it does better than I am kind of anticipating right now.
I'm kind of with you. There's something about this that feels a little bit like, for the lack of a better word, but like Destiny at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
it seems to just lack something. Well, I do think it does look visually cool, and some of those powers look pretty interesting.
Mhm.
When I think, and maybe this is like old gamer is old or some shit, when I
Sure.
think about playing that game on a touch screen, part
Exactly
of me
that.
dies inside.
Yes.
And like, if I can connect a controller to it, which is, again, at that point, like, I might as well be on my Steam Deck if I have to use a controller
Agreed.
to connect
Yeah.
to my phone to be able to properly run this. I struggle with touch controls on my phone for classic shooters, especially, like, I tried to get into like PUBG Mobile and, like, the COD stuff. Like, I've tried,
Yeah.
and it never feels right to me. And
Mhm.
I understand that I may be in the minority compared to a lot of the younger generations, or people who
Yes.
might play predominantly on mobile. My brain immediately turns off when I see the fucking reticle, the circle. This one's a jump. This one's an attack. Like, this one's your
Yeah.
special attack.
Yeah.
My brain turns off, and I
Yeah.
know that, like, there's not much else that they could do given the interface that they're using.
Yes.
But, like, I'd be more interested in this if this was a take on it, like a different genre, something that might,
Yeah.
that might translate to a touchscreen experience a little more universally.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Denny. I know when we kind of first spoke about this a few weeks back, you were kind of like, there isn't a lot that they could get me in on a Destiny mobile game. Has your opinion changed after seeing it?
Not really, no. I mean, watching the trailer along, would it pique my interest to see how the experience is on mobile? Sure. But also, like you said, I'm not a touchscreen game kind of guy. I actually bought one of those stupid, like, handheld controller
Same.
plug-in, the Razer Kazashi or whatever it was called.
The Razer key shit, I've never
Right.
used it.
I used it for like a week, and then I don't know
Same,
where
yeah.
it is right now. In fact, I don't even think my phone can accept it because the ports changed. So I digress.
Yeah.
But no, I think, like, kudos for them for trying something different, i.e., going on mobile. I would have been more intrigued if, let's say, and this is a weird, maybe an app comparison, but like, what if they did like an RTS a la Halo Wars, right?
Yeah, dude.
Or
Something
like
like that.
like a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Something that doesn't require quick input.
I saw
Yeah.
this, and I right away, when I saw some of the gameplay footage, I kind of felt like I was watching like a modded version of Call of Duty Mobile, where you
Mhm.
like kind of run around in third person, then when you zoom in, it goes straight into, like, you're looking down the sight of the gun.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it does good. Destiny was a fun game. The time that I spent with it, I enjoyed. I never really, like, it was all Destiny 1 though for me. And like Rice said as well, some of this stuff does look kind of like, I feel like we're retreading the same ground in terms of environments and stuff as well. So I was like, who knows? But that could be a story reason.
Yeah, I like, if I may, for just like one more minute, like, it's so I don't know. A lot of the a lot of the Destiny 2 community values new experiences right now, because we've been playing this game for a decade, and the fact that it just like kind of looks the same, feels the same, is like, all right, here's Destiny Lite on your phone. And by the way, your FOV is going to be blocked by your thumbs because you're going to be, touching the screen and stuff like that. That is not an attractive experience.
Oh.
But maybe it is a generational thing, Matt. Like you say, like, I don't know. My friend's kid is friggin' beast at Fortnite on a touch screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Will it bring in a whole wave of players? Maybe. Probably not people our age, though. So.
Let me ask you this, Rice, because I think this is my last. Like, it's gonna be free to play. I'll download it and I'll try it. I'm not going to not give it a go, because it looked interesting enough in terms of like the power sets and the abilities that you use
Sure.
that I'm like, this looks cool. What are you expecting when it comes to monetization? Because I think that's my biggest question here. NetEase,
Yeah.
infamous for not the best monetization practices.
Sure.
Marvel Rivals is something that I'm incredibly excited about, also a NetEase game. And from my time with the betas, has me optimistic that it's not going to be complete and total ass. That
Yeah.
we'll see what happens when launch hits. It could be
Sure.
completely different stories once it hits. What are you expecting here? Because some people are anticipating a gotcha where you're going to be grabbing new characters. Are you anticipating
Yeah.
weapons? Are you anticipating cosmetics? Like, where are you at when you look at this and think, how are they going to charge me for it?
Yeah, from my understanding, they are going to be diving into some narrative stuff. So characters is definitely something that I'm thinking they'll push. Even just unlocking certain missions or story arcs, they could go that direction. I don't know that they're going to do the aesthetic route. They might still do that, but I think that it would be focused more on weapons rather than armor, because it's not a character that you are creating per se. It is a preset, pre-written kind of hero that you are going to follow. So I do unfortunately think that you will have to pay to play some things, and people will do it. People will do it if this game gets enough traction.
Well, I'm curious to see what happens once we get our hands on it. We'll definitely keep
Mhm.
everybody posted once it does hit a little ways down the road. Let's round out with a couple more stories before we get into a little bit of the bigger boy. This is 100% for me, and I'm just going to own that. But Legends of Heroes Trails to Daybreak True is launching on February 14, 2025. Of course, NIS America and Nihon Falcom are back with Trails to Daybreak 2 coming on Valentine's Day, February 14th to all of the right platforms, PC, PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. I loved Daybreak this earlier this year. I'm a massive Trails fan. It is one of my favorite JRPG series. And Daybreak was genuinely like a step forward for the franchise when it already has like a lot of incredibly high highs. So I'm so excited that the second one is just around the corner, because usually it's been a decent wait, and these games are notorious for brutal cliffhangers. So I'm excited that it won't be too long before I dive back in. I'll just open it up. Do either one of you care about Trails?
You told me about it once on this podcast, and I have yet to try it, but not because I don't want to, but because
The backlog is long.
is long.
The log is logging.
The
I
log is
betcha.
logging.
Denny, you're more of a JRPG dude. Have you messed with the Trail series at all?
Have I what now?
Have you messed with the Trail series at all?
No, I haven't actually messed with the Trail series.
Oh,
a lot of like
playing until 2030.
Yeah. I don't know. Did they ever have games on the PSP? Because like the art style and everything looks very
Vita.
familiar.
Vita and PSP.
Maybe I have that.
Trails in the Sky, it was on PSP. Trails and Cold Steel was on Vita. So they started on handheld before they made their journey over to console.
I think, and this is like way back, I think I might have played Trails in the Sky.
I'll take it.
Oh.
I'll get you back on the bandwagon before long.
I don't have any out.
Oh, you'll find them. You'll find them for this. You'll find them. I want to pull in a story that Rice actually found, because I haven't really seen this make the rounds elsewhere, but coming from PC Gamer, written by Andy Chalk. Sony's failed shooter Concord has been updated dozens of times on Steam in October, and I'm starting to feel a comeback. And he basically writes how we know the story with Concord. It hit. It was gone just a couple of weeks later. Updates began on SteamDB on about September 30th and went on with about half a dozen per day up until October 10th. So there's something going on in the back end. This to me definitely tells me that Concord is not dead, which was I think a question that a lot of us had when Sony decided to pull it. Was is this really the last time that we're going to see it? Is this going to be a situation where they pull it and they're gonna be like, oh well, sorry guys, Concord's never coming back. We're just not going to talk about this anymore. See you later. We talked about the possibility of free to play. There's something happened. I think current rumors and scuttlebutt seem to indicate that we might be going the free to play route. What do you guys think? Is this DOA when it comes back? Does this stand a chance?
Denny,
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of skimming through the article here right now, and like my logic is kicking in. How there was like an update made to like Helldivers, God of War, and God of War Ragnarok, and they're all very similar updates, and that maybe the Concord just got caught in the blanket update, and it's just like now we're all having false hope, and we're all gonna have our hearts broken eventually.
But would we have our hearts broken?
Well, not mine. My heart's perfectly fine. I don't care. But in the state for the sake of argument and wanting to see games and franchises do well, especially I think what did they say, like 8 years of development time for this game?
Yeah, it was,
Something ridiculous.
it was
right?
7 years or something. Yeah,
Like almost a decade of development time for it to be gone in 2 weeks. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
So you know what? Put it out. If it goes free to play, I will gladly give it a chance to play it, and then I will immediately delete it off my Steam. But just to say I've played it and I've done my thing to support the developers, even though like I should have bought the game at full price. Hell no.
Well, you would have been turned around 2 weeks in anyway, and then you would have got to the hassle.
I got my $40 back too, right? So
yeah. I'm curious. I again. I still think Concord had a solid foundation. I do think there's something there. I just still think that they didn't know what that game was, and they hit a trend that was long dead. So they need to figure it out if they want us to really care. Rice, where are you at on this, man?
Yeah, I sent that because my initial reaction to the article was like, what? Why? And at the same time, I was like, oh, okay, well, if it does come back, I think I would give it another shot. And so, like, I don't know, I it was a little bit of like, I think I was convincing myself that, like, I was really trying to convince myself, like, maybe this game does deserve another shot. And I was thinking that even the time frame that Denny was mentioning, was worth noting. Like there was a lot of years that went into this and obviously just did not go the way it was planned. So I don't know, this like very optimistic side of me is like, maybe it'll come back. I'll try it. I'll give it a go. And if it's good, I'll tell people about it. But it could also just be nothing.
Well, we'll find out if this ever comes back. Let's round out with one beefier size story, because earlier today we got hit. Oh, sorry. Wait, I should have brought this in earlier. Bryce, my apologies.
No, all good.
Because there's marathon stuff going on too, coming from Forbes. Written by Paul Tassi. Marathon playtest revealed by Bungie creators as 2025 launch looms. We've yet to hear anything substantive about Marathon from Bungie in the last year or more. Only insider reports, some from me, about what the game is like. But some people are getting to experience it firsthand. And unlike many past playtests, Bungie has let a number of testers and creators reveal that they're invited. But the range of them is interesting. Bungie's rules appear to be that they're allowed to talk about the experience rather than comment on the quality of the game. And of course, they are all very excited. Bungie flew them out to its HQ to test the game. I've done that. It's very fun. Again, Scaro 9 talks about that they went. It's an experience. It was an amazing experience. So it's kind of interesting. We don't really know too much, but there's a lot of talk back and forth about, is it still hitting next year? Is it in development hell? Are they rebranding? Are they reworking? Rice, what's the hype check at for Marathon?
Skeptical at best, because it's another hero shooter.
Isn't it an extraction shooter though, which makes me even less excited than a hero shooter?
Yes, that's what I understand. It's just like there was one comment in, I believe, that alludes to the fact that a creator or someone who was invited said that this is going to be a banger, and like, and they alluded to the fact that also like they probably shouldn't be saying that, but it invited players who play Rainbow Six, who play I'm forgetting the other. It said
Tarkov in the article as well.
So that's what it's an interesting group of people. And so there's going to be some sort of competitive aspect to it, but like I don't know, with all of the Bungie news that we had been following in previous episodes, like it is, I'm skeptical at best. It's just there's so much kind of tea going on over there. So I'm interested in seeing what the experience is about since these players have been talking about it. But no hopes or expectations just yet. So if anything, I'm just like I'm not holding my breath. But I thought I
Well,
would throw that in there, especially
Mhm.
with this Concord stuff we were talking about, as well as some other Bungie related things.
Hell yeah. I don't know. I have a hard time with extraction shooters. Like
Mm,
I prefer just kind of like the straight, like we're gonna fight and we're gonna throw down. Like I
mhm.
find that like I tried to get into the finals.
Yeah.
And while I thought it was
Yeah.
very cool and very explosive, it's not exactly an extraction type shooter, but it's not too far out. Like I find like the
Yeah.
griefing aspect and like the annoying, the people would like turn invisible and sit on like the collection things and just like blow you apart as you get close. Like I get frustrated when it's stuff like that I'm just like, this just isn't fun.
Yeah.
And extraction type stuff, like the thought of spending a lot of time doing something just to lose and get next to nothing for my time that I've
Right.
invested in. Um, Especially if I'm like with friends and stuff. Like I don't, I'm curious, but like I need to see what this game actually is and how it plays before I kind of formulate much more of an opinion. But like if it's like I'm already kind of going in with a bit of a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Uh,
Escort shooters to me are like, sorry, extraction
Extraction.
shooters to me
Ooh,
are
baby.
like escort missions
Mhm.
in solo experiences. I just don't like them.
Nope. Nope. Let's find out with our big boy before we
Yeah.
get into some questions because the Xbox partner preview went on earlier today. This roundup is done by Bobby, and as we know, all things Xbox might be PlayStation, and there's a good amount of PlayStation stuff in here as well. Alan Wake 2 The Lake House got a new trailer. The expansion is launching next week on October 22nd for any of the Seasons Pass holders. I am incredibly excited about this. The
Yo.
week of Halloween, spooky season, well, just before the week of Halloween. I loved the last expansion. Alan Wake 2 like shot up my list last year in a way that I really wasn't ready for. The Lake House looks fantastic, and I'm locked in. Are either one of you on this next week?
Won't be next week because I have yet to experience the full Alan Wake 2
Ooh,
narrative. So I got some catching up to do.
Likewise.
you boys got some catching up to. Chronos: The New Dawn. This is a new horror title coming from
Mhm.
Bloober. Was announced, also coming to PS5. I'm gonna kind of run through a lot of these so we can kind of cap back. Blind Fire Light 'Em Up is a first-person shooter in the dark. Yep. Mouse Key for Hire. This is like the really old school Mickey Mouse type looking, but it's a shooter. It looks kind of wild. I'll pull up trailers a little bit after if we want. Like a Dragon Pirate because in Hawaii, one of my most anticipated games next year.
Yep.
It in classic RGG fashion has moved up its launch date. It's now going to be on February 21st instead of 27th.
Oh.
Only RGG is like, yeah, I mean, we're ready. I guess we can launch it a week early. This was going to go up against Monster Hunter, which I'm sure, especially in Japan, is a good move to make. But I also have no doubt in my mind that RGG is going to deliver a solid experience. So I'm not really pressed. The game looks fantastic. Subnautica 2 got a new trailer.
Mhm.
They said that it's probably going to come years down the line. This is, I think, going to hit early access first. Animal Well, we don't need to talk about. Eden Zero, I don't really know too much about. So we're just going to breeze past that. Eternal Strands, coming from Yellow Brick Games. This game looks pretty cool. The upcoming action RPG, we know this is coming to PlayStation as well. Got a new trailer. Mistfall Hunter got an announcement trailer. I can't remember if this is coming to PS5 or not, but I'm going to assume that it is. Wheel World. This used to be Ghost Bike. It looks like a racing game. Phasmophobia finally hitting consoles. Years after it being a huge thing online, it is now coming to consoles, which is cool. The Legend of Babu is coming, an action adventure title. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, coming also. I believe this is also coming to PS5. FBC Firebreak, a new Remedy multiplayer game from, again, speaking of Alan Wake and Control. This is like set like in the world of Control. A co-op, a 3-person co-op shooter. Looks sick. I'm gonna play the trailer for this while we kind of talk about this because this is a multiplayer shooter, and while it's not in this trailer, is coming to PlayStation Plus day one. Coming to Game Pass day one, hitting both services day 1, and
That's crazy.
I was already locked in. Like Alan Wake 2 made me a Remedy believer. I liked Control.
Right.
I liked the first Alan Wake, but Alan Wake 2 made me like whatever Remedy's doing next. Like I'm there. Why wasn't Concord on PlayStation Plus? Will Marathon be on PlayStation Plus? This is such a good move.
Yes.
To bring people in for a multiplayer for a multiplayer experience that I think just looks dope. But that was pretty much all the news. So I'll pass it back on. This was easily the highlight for me. Yakuza moving up a week, and again a highlight for me. There's a lot of good stuff in here, but I'm amped on this. Rice, let's drop down to you. What about all of this made you a little bit excited?
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, is this going to be crossplay?
Good question.
Because that would be an absolute banger. And the, like, even if people didn't see this trailer, if they said there's a game, it's multiplayer, it's cooperative, and
it will be crossplay.
Like, even before seeing anything, I'm just gonna be like, hey, streamer friends, gamer friends, people who game who are friends, guys, this is coming out on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus day 1. Let's link up, let's play, simply just because we can. And so, like, I would be on that right away. I also sent this trailer over Wu Chang, and I did kind of chuckle at some of the comments, because it's like, man, we have Wolong, we have Wukong, and we have Wu Chang. And so, and they're all games that involve in some form of difficult or challenging combat, which I have grown to like over this past year. So I will definitely be playing this game. I'm excited about it. Just some dark kind of art going through the trailer, and some really cool creature design with some of these bosses that, and you know, anything where you can have animation or particle effects with swords, I'm totally in it. So I love it.
Yeah, this does look really cool. I don't know if this confirmed one way or another, if there are difficulty options. If there are, I'm more inclined. Right. But this looks really cool.
Yeah.
Denny, my dude, what about you? Anything off the list that's got you bothered and excited?
Yeah. I want to play Mouse PI for Hire.
Yeah,
I actually want to play that.
Hold on, let's pull the trailer for anybody that hasn't seen it, because it looks wild.
It reminds me of Cuphead. So it's a very unique kind
of art
just
style.
A unique art style, yeah.
Yeah, like it's just I remember seeing this game on Twitter for like a couple of years ago, when it was more of like a prototype demo, and people were like, oh, like look at this kind of funny thing that I made. And then the reaction online was so massive that I think it prompted them to actually go ahead and make the full title. Because like this looks wild. Like the animation just looks insane.
Yeah, that's so cool, man.
Very
I love
fluid.
That. Very fluid, but also like very retro. Like for it being a grayscale game, like there's so much personality in it.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm locked in on this too. Like this is definitely something that I'm very curious to check out. But I think there's some good stuff there. I'm excited about Alan Wake 2. Obviously, super stoked. Yakuza, I'm there for. This is solid showing today for Xbox, and a lot coming to PlayStation.
Yeah.
But let's close out with a couple questions, my friends. Coming from Savoy Prime, our boy SP writes in saying, hello, Matt, SP here. What's up, Savoy Prime? What's up with all the RPG hits we've been getting, and why is Expedition 33 going to be another one? SP, that is a good question. This is by far the year of the JRPG, the year of the RPG.
Yes.
I mean, we've got Persona, we've got Metaphor, we got Trails, we got more stuff that I'm having trouble remembering right now, but like it's just been like one ridiculous banger after the other, and Expedition 33 looks incredible. It looks so sweet, and that voice cast, just like Andy Serkis, we got Ben Starr, like absolutely stacked cast. Expedition 33 easily one of my most anticipated games this year. Like it just looks gorgeous. But Denny, the kind of other resident RPG nerd, what the hell's going on this year? Final Fantasy Rebirth. How did I miss Rebirth?
I don't know how you missed Rebirth, but that's okay. And Visions of Mana.
Yeah, I didn't play that one.
Okay.
But it's there.
It is there. Yes. I don't know. I think it's maybe just high time. I usually equate gaming to a lot like fashion. There's always trends. And I think it's just, we mentioned earlier that like, there's certain genres that are kind of just been long dead or now been established with franchises, for example, like your loot shooters or your extraction shooters or whatever, like live service games that are out there. But the JRPG genre has always been kind of like you get the game, you play the game, you invest 100 or 200 hours or however long you invest, and then you kind of put it back on the shelf, right?
Sure.
So you're always going to be able to get those new experiences, those different experiences. And I think just after everybody's been trying to get a piece of the Overwatch pie or the Fortnite pie, I think maybe some developers are kind of going back to their roots and saying like, hey, we need to put out some RPGs, we need to put out some games that will actually, not compete with those kind of games, but compete kind of in a different vertical. And I think that's just what we're getting right now. And we've been getting, like, you're right, we've been getting some amazing games. Like this year, I can't even think of all the games we've actually gotten this year as a whole, let alone just JRPGs. It's astonishing.
It's ridiculous. Thanks for writing in, SP. We appreciate you as
Yeah.
always. Sumit Roy at Black Wyver writing and saying there have been so many games this year. Which game surprised you the most this year? Rice, what was your most surprising game this year thus far?
Surprising. Oh man.
Game
That's
that
a
really caught you off guard.
great question, man. Stellar Blade
Fair.
caught me off guard. But I was actually thinking just now, even just in terms of sales, I did not expect Sparking Zero to do as well as it did. And I'm like so for it, like I'm incredibly surprised because I did not know that we was still here. You know what I mean? Players that played the Dragon Ball games. I didn't know we were still like, hey, waiting for the next one. And so the fact that like we all showed up and we were just like, yo, we're about to play this game and we're about to play the shit out of it. That makes me super happy. So yeah, those are my answers.
Hell yeah, great answers, my dude. Danny, what about you? What game surprised you this year?
Oh man, this might be a hot take. I don't know, because prior to us talking about Astrobot, it was not on my radar at all.
That's fair.
Right. So I just, I dismissed the original Playroom as like a pack-in title.
Right.
And I just really didn't pay any attention. I didn't have a PSVR to play the other one. But just kind of hearing the hype and actually just taking the plunge and getting the game and saying like, screw it.
Yeah.
It has definitely been a game that I didn't think I would enjoy.
Hell yeah.
But like now I'm here and I'm having a blast with it. And like, yeah, adding speedrun DLCs is awesome. So like it's definitely a big surprise. And then again, I resonate with also like with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yeah, I think both of you hit the nail on the head. For me, like Astrobot, like again, I knew it was going to be good. I don't think I anticipated it to be this good or this huge. Same as Sparking Zero. I really expected, especially because I feel like a lot of the arena fighters, anime arena fighters that we've gotten over the last number of years have met with like less than stellar acclaim. You know what I mean? Like this game isn't just like selling super well; it's also like reviewing well.
Yeah.
Like it feels great to play. But I think despite all of that, and like despite being surprised and like happy with Metaphor as well, Dragon's Dogma 2 was kind of one of my biggest surprises this year. Because similarly to like Alan Wake 2 last year, I didn't care that this game was coming out.
Right.
Like not as like I tried to play the first one. I really just could not get into it. And then I was like, I'm gonna roll the dice on Dragon's Dogma 2. The reviews are hitting. Steve was talking about it. I'm seeing all these clips online, and I'm just gonna FOMO into it. And it grabbed me, and it did not let go. Like it had me in a chokehold for weeks. Not 200-hour chokehold like it had Rice, but like I really like loved my time with it. And a game that like again I just rolled the dice on, and I wasn't expecting to like. Really resonated with me in a really fantastic way. So I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is kind of like my personal answer.
Respect.
I know, right?
I think my answers changed to
why? Tell me your answer.
Well, the most surprising thing was that Matt just said Dragon's Dogma 2 was the most surprising thing for him. God damn. Okay.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. I tried, man. And I loved it.
That's a
Edward Varnell at Boss Rush Network at that retro code writes in saying, outside of your hair looking top tier in the video asking for questions this week. Thank you, my dude. Do you think PlayStation has enough games and accessories to have a great holiday package for new gamers who will receive a PS5 this year? What package would you make considering a console, 3 games, and add-ons? I think this is a great question. I think for
is.
anybody who is getting a PS5 this year versus PS5 owners, I think there's two different questions. I think
Yes.
anybody receiving a PS5, I think if you come in with if you come in with Astrobot, if you
Yep.
come in with one of the big JRPGs this year, whether that's Persona, whether that's Metaphor, whether that's Final Fantasy, I think like there's something in there for everyone. And then for the third game, like, what would I pick for the third game? I think something else that, again, like a different genre. We got Astrobot, we got the RPG, and I'd pick like a third game that is very different compared to the rest of them. I'll think on this, but accessory wise, I think a Portal is something that I
Portal.
recommend. While not personally for me because I have the Steam Deck, everybody, like the people that I've known that have bought Portals, love these things.
Love
So even
them.
just to
I
extend
want
their
one.
time with it, right? To extend their time with it, that would kind of be my bundle. I'll think on the third game while I pass this off. Whoever wants to jump in next, by all means, go ahead.
Horizon Zero Dawn remastered.
Concord.
Concord.
I'm sorry.
Lock.
I wanted to
Lock.
keep a straight face, but I couldn't.
I saw you like starting to crack while I was talking. I was like, what did I say?
I already thought about it.
Now this makes more sense.
Oh, I agree with the Portal sentiment, honestly, and I think that the Portal is something that owners really like. They can brag about it, like it's something that they find incredible functionality out of, and it's just a nice flex to be able to play your PlayStation 5, around your house and not be by your setup, like for those of us who have all of their things connected to your PC setup or a certain room, like it's nice to have that around. So that's a nice flex for sure. Other games,
Spider-Man 2. That's what I'll say.
that's exactly where I was going. Spider-Man 2, like why wouldn't we add the Spider-Man in there? Because Spider-Man 2 is just a culmination of sick shirt. I just realized I've been reading so many comics, by the way, Matt. I need to text
I'm so
you
proud
that
of you.
stuff.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. But like, yeah, Spider-Man 2. Denny, help me out here, man. Like, add a third one in there for me.
Well, I'm
Round
surprised
off
you
this
didn't say like Tekken 8 or something.
Well, I would have, but not everyone is really down with fighters. Like, as someone who would want to receive a PlayStation 5, maybe like I'm gearing towards, maybe even Ghost, so that they can gear up for Yote.
Yeah.
Right.
Future proof that bad boy.
Yeah, future proof.
Future proof. Denny, anything else you want to add to that list?
I would just say honestly, just do the best first party games you could do. Make like a Sony holiday. That's what we're doing right now. Holiday bundle.
Yeah.
This Spider-Man 2, God of War, and Astrobot.
Bro, get a year of get
your PS Plus.
Astrobot. Yeah, get a year of PS Plus. Get extra. You don't need premium.
Yeah, exactly. Plus is a great.
You're gonna have a lot there and new stuff coming, and I'm sure Spider-Man 2 is gonna get added sooner rather than later. I'd be shocked if it didn't, especially with like Last of Us on there now and stuff. Get a year plus. Josh writes in saying this one is for Matt. Hey buddy, hey buddy, longtime friend, part-time listener, and full-time beaver here. Now that you've played Metaphor ReFantazio, and I'm enamored with the game as well, how does it rank in your top RPGs ever played? Reflect for a second on the most enjoyable RPGs you have played and give Metaphor a ranking: top 20, top 10, top 5. Would love to hear your thoughts. For me, it definitely makes my top 10 and has top 5 potential. I agree with you. I think that Metaphor is definitely in my top 10. I can make an argument for top 5. I am curious. Well, we'll do an episode on like our top RPGs, and we'll kind of save this as a bigger topic because I think there's some good meat and potatoes here that we can dive into sometime in the next little while. Because I do think that this is the culmination of the Persona formula taken out of school. I think it is as good as Persona 5 Royal. I think the only thing that would stop me from like hardcore committing to a top 5 is the setting. I don't resonate with high fantasy as much as I do like Persona's like current day weird high school demon slaying. Like that vibe is more my speed than like the high fantasy, swords and shields kind of thing. So I think while I absolutely love Metaphor and I could make an argument for top 10, I could possibly make an argument for top 5, but I'd have to sit down and really think about it. I think we'll save the bulk of the conversation for a dedicated episode because I think that's one that I'd be very curious to hear both of your thoughts on. So we'll save that one for sometime in the next month or so. We'll drill down and talk about it.
Cool.
And our final question coming from the guru himself, Bobby, you're saying, does Court plan to sit down and play Metaphor? Absolutely not, bro. What's the point of asking this question? The Court is not touching Metaphor. There's no world that Court would ever touch Metaphor. Unless they added like a hockey mini game, he's not touching Metaphor.
I totally misunderstood this question and thought, would he physically sit down or is he going to stand up and play? Like that's how I read. Like, wait, because again, maybe of course that kind of person. Like, when it gets intense, you stand up or you lean forward a little bit.
I'm trying now,
right? Yeah, it just got real. So is he going to stand up and play Metaphor the whole time? I don't know.
I feel like there was one more question that I'm missing here. Hold on, or did I just make up a question in my mind that was never really there? Hold on, I'm just going back to Twitter real quick. Because I don't want to miss one. I'm bad at doing that sometimes. No, I don't see another question here. Maybe that was maybe there was just a question in my mind, but it's all good. Everyone, that brings us to the end of the episode. We appreciate all of your time, all of your thoughts, all of your feelings. Anybody who's ready to throw down in Dragon Ball, hit us up, join the Discord. It's free and in the comments so you can throw down with us. Or if you're ready to toss and throw down in Astrobot, those speed runs are a calling. Woo! Before we go though, I need to ask my friends, Denny, where can people see and hear more from you on this world wide web of ours?
3 main spots are always going to be. Oh, excuse me. Always going to be. I just got choked up about Astrobot. Instagram, YouTube. What's the other one? Twitch. They're all on my link tree. So linktree/DeNeric-Endgame.
Hell yeah! Go find Denny in all the spots. Bryce, my boy, what about you?
Yes, sir. You can find me on twitch.tv/Rice BOYYY-TV. Same thing in my link tree. And you can also catch me and Denny talking about some other things on Power Up Gamers. More stuff that soon.
Mm-hmm.
There's that plug. Go check that out. They talk Dragon Ball Diamond. They talk so much good stuff. So go over and check that out. As for myself, you can find my words here at Console Creatures and at butwhythough.net and my videos across both as well. We'll be back next week, folks. I hope everybody has a safe and secure and fantastic week. See you in Astrobot Speedrun. See you in Dragon Ball. And we'll be back next week. Peace.
Bye.
Later.